Sharunas, I hope I said it correctly.
Yeah, it's actually, most of the world doesn't know this letter, but here is a proper letter.
Big as shit.
Yeah.
Czech language as well. So let's give a warm applause to Sharunas and for the first lightning talk.
Okay, I guess I need to use microphone after all, so sorry about the shouting. Okay, so this is about the project which is still in R&D, and nothing is finalized, nothing like optimization is not really done yet, but still want to show it, and so don't have much time to yap, so I will skip it. So what the problem I'm tackling, right? So what happens when person visits the website? We usually ignore the person, but take various metrics, measurements, store it somewhere, usually to Kafka or a S3 bucket. Every 24 hours, we do some ETL job, put it to a data warehouse. And in best case scenario, we prepare some kind of recommendation. Usually, it's just a blip in the stats, and it may or may not impact the shade of the button half a year later, right? So I think we can do better, we can be more dynamic. But yeah, what are the caveats of this? So we have at least 24 hours of lag. Since we are storing the data, we need to get consent from the user or anonymized data. We need to comply with GDPR. So if person has to delete the data, we need to have procedures for that. We go to a lot of trouble, right? And the last point, this is like not very, at the moment, nobody cares about it, but I think in the future it will be more important. So we are showing the same content for actual person, for the bots and the agents. So nowadays, the agent can act behalf of me and buy stuff, right? So we may want to optimize websites for the agents for be easier to use and for persons to be better. So, okay, what's my idea? My idea is Imperil events. So I stole a bunch of good ideas from Riemann.io. So I'm not taking credit for it. But in general, we have events, we don't store it. We keep them in the memory. Each event has a key, has a metric, has a time to live, has a metadata. If the other event comes with the same key, we override it and keep the last one and update the time to live. And yeah, so how to do any kind of math on real-time data. So we need to make a compromise called windows. So there are several types, like tumbling is the easiest one. So we take chunks every 60 seconds, 10 seconds, 30 seconds, you name it, and aggregate data on that. So we delay the data 10 seconds, but we can do aggregations. Sliding window is very similar, but it takes past data and concatenates new data. Session window is basically if we have delay between events, we say this is new session. So if person comes, do 3 actions and goes away, this is window of 3 events. If the bot comes and crawls for 2 hours, this is 2-hour window of events. So this is the way how we aggregate and process the data. And I even have a data that have a demo, but very short amount of time. So I will just show the idea how we define business rules, what to process, how to process it. I can even run a benchmark of million of events, and we can see what is happening. So we have 12,000 events per second. Memory footprint is basically nothing, 2% of the RAM of 60 gigs. So this is very efficient way to process a lot of data. And I think this is a way to go. Not sure if it's a good idea or bad, but I love the Riemann part. So the Riemann was designed for the system monitoring. I'm reinventing the idea and using for user behavior monitoring and re-implemented the same thing in the Golang because Riemann was originally in Clojure. And this was very cryptic and niche, so nobody knows it. Yeah, but yeah, in general, this is the idea, and hopefully something good comes out of that. And yeah, the last slide. Yeah, doing bunch of data-related stuff with Golang, but not exclusively on Starless SEO, and hit me up on LinkedIn, right? Not sure if I fit to the... Yeah, I tried my best. I practiced for 15 minutes, so 5 minutes is like 3 times faster, so sorry. You had to skip a lot of that. And that's it.
Again, pick up the mic.
Oh, sorry.
So thanks a lot for the first announced lightning talk. And for the second lightning talk, I would like to welcome on the stage actually the organizer of the conference. So the one person who started the whole thing is going to finish it as well. And it's no other than Jakub. And I'm supposed to say something before he actually gets prepared. So does anyone want a go joke? I don't.
And we're all serious people, you know, so.
I hope you noticed in the email, but at the after party, the first 100 beers are on us. They are covered by the sponsors, so be there on time and drink them all. And finally, I'm happy to welcome on the stage the organizer of the conference, Jakub, who is going to give you the lightning talk. So, warm welcome for him.
Thank you. It's all his fault. It was just, you know, I had a rant with my ex-colleague by there about Java threads and goroutines and he was like, okay, that sounds like a very good lightning talk. Yeah, so I don't know if it's a good lightning talk, but let's try that. I'll just start with a couple of questions. Who knows Java virtual threads? Oh, poor guy. Yeah. Who knows goroutines? Everyone, right? Yeah, true. Well, Java virtual threads are something like goroutines, but worse. And ever since, I'll say that, I don't see any other colleagues from Sentinel-1, but I joined Sentinel-1 like 1.5 months ago. And ever since I joined, I'm fixing bugs with Java virtual threads. So that's where the rant is coming from, essentially. So I'll just point out few differences and why I think it's sort of a shit thing. The thing is, how goroutines work. Like, they're green threads, right? They're not on real OS level threads, and they're multiplexed there. It's done by... Actually, I wanted to have a full session on that, but there was no time for that. It's driven by some sort of a scheduler, and that scheduler, whenever that thread gets blocked, I'll oversimplify it, but sort of forks into two. One continues, one is free again. And that goes on and on until you hit a limit. There's an actual limit. There's 10,000 threads that you can hit. Then you'll get like a thread dump of 10,000 threads, which will probably take a couple of megabytes. And you'll be like, what the fuck? Happened to me once. What the fuck was there? With Java virtual threads, it's not like that. It's like you have unlimited goroutines, threads, but they're multiplexed to, how is it called? Common pool, common fork join pool. That's a pool of number of CPUs plus 1. Now imagine like sort of a regular, very microservice-y thing, like some Spring Boot stuff being deployed into Kubernetes. You assign 2 processors to it. How many threads it has? 3. On 3 threads, it's very easy, and even more on like 2 threads, it's very easy to get deadlocked. Happened 3 times in the last 2 weeks. End of rant. So what I wanted to say is cherish what we have in Go and throw and pound Java.